Okay, hello and welcome to Essentials Podcast episode 4. And today we've got Aaron, Atlas, Fitzy, Joe, Casey, and Saber with us. And we're going to be discussing all sorts of bits and bobs. So let me just get the list out actually and just give you an idea of what we'll be going through. So we've talking about the Smoke Greys, which dropped a couple weeks ago, 700, Zyons, and the Off-White Jordan 4s. So before we start, just a quick message from Fitzy about a group buy on Thursday.
Oh yeah. So I hashtag ad the Gmails I posted in group wise. I really want to stress this. I want to make sure everybody knows that these Gmails are actually insane. They're by far the best Gmails I've ever used. They come out of the box, 3 clicks on Shopify. You don't have to farm them at all. They come with the capture proxy. So if you're listening to this, please buy the Gmails. You will not regret it.
Very passionate for a guy who's not even getting paid to sponsor it.
That's my ad.
But fair play.
Hashtag ad.
Hashtag ad,
They
true.
should pay.
Hashtag ad
There
without actually getting any benefit for it, but
Yeah.
fair play.
They should pay.
Yeah. Alright, so should we start in chronological order? So what was the Smoke Greys were before 700s, right? I think.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so dropped on a huge array of sites. It might be worth just starting with the EU sites. So Aaron, if you want to cover that quickly.
Yeah, of course. So obviously starting with Snipes, Calyx, and it seemed that actually Sol AO took a lot of the stock as well.
Really?
and
Sol
from
on
what
Calyx?
Yeah,
No
on
way.
Snipes. Yeah, it did really well actually.
Nice.
They've added it as a new update. And then also Ganesh did as well. I saw obviously some of the people that have 3.0 put it in success. So obviously looking forward to that coming out this week.
Nice. That's coming out. Ganesh is coming out on. Oh, yeah, it said within the next few days, right? On the tweet today.
Yeah, sometime this week they stated.
Cool.
I mean, price flew up immediately, so that's positive.
Sweet.
Obviously, Foot Locker as well was pretty much the biggest EU drop with the most stock.
Mm-hmm. Was it new
and
regions that
obviously-
took stock mostly?
It was, and also GB actually did all right.
Okay.
I saw quite a lot of Ganesh checkouts on GB. They did the best, and then I saw Kodo did a lot on new regions as well, and obviously Ganesh did as well.
Yeah, sweet.
And then
Yeah,
a bit here and there.
How does Kodai handle the new regions? Because it's obviously quite aggressive on the older ones.
When I ran Smoke Greys, I hit every slot I ran.
Wow.
Well, I wasn't running many. I was only running like 30, but it hit every single one.
Wow, impressive.
So it clearly did work.
Nice. And what proxies are you using at the moment on Foot Locker?
Well, I was using Calibra, but I know they've just been clipped. They got clipped just before the last drop, which was a bit gutting. And then I have been using just Resi, just because it's just easier. I just accept the fact that you drain them. But with Kodai, there's no point running DC anyway.
Yeah, it's just too aggressive, right? It's not worth it.
Really exactly. I tried it once, and it just banned all my subnet, and I never tried it again.
Yeah, I've actually found a new proxy provider, proper low key. They've got like less than 1k followers on Twitter. Actually, ABCFC was telling me about these guys. They're called Vault Proxies, and they do monthly proxies, £1.60 per proxy. But the proxies work on Mesh and Foot Locker EU, which is kind of crazy.
Do they still work now?
I literally tested these I think 3 days ago, and they were working on both,
brilliant.
which is insane. Like the fact they work on both is actually nuts. So I'm going to be having a chat with them, and hopefully we can get a group buy-in or something, or something that should be pretty good. They look really promising. Because it's so rare to find some which work on both. Like normally you find one or the other, right? But yeah, that's pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So those were the sort of major sites that dropped on EU. Did Soulbox and BSTN drop at all? I don't think they did.
I think Soulbox obviously had restocks,
Right.
And I'm pretty sure Calyx just took most of that.
Sure. Okay.
And Soldybot as well. Seems to be the only other one doing well.
Shrimp's been doing pretty good.
Yeah, but they're
SVD
very
and-
limited on tasks they can run, aren't they?
Right. Okay. I should know this. I do have the bot, but I've never ran it. But I do see it doing well. It's really weird. I think it's one of them really low key ones, especially for sites which you would join a group for to pick up restocks from monitors, right? I think it's really good for those like low key ones, sort of like not low key, but like sites that are so random, like End and SVD and stuff. Shrimp does really kill them. So yeah, definitely worth keeping an eye on Shrimp at the moment. I think that's pretty much it for the EU sites on that drop, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say one more thing as well. I've seen Earthside doing really well recently.
Okay, what sites does
I
it
know
focus on?
it's quite a few small EU sites. I can't actually remember them all off the top of my head, but I've seen it like loads of the group I'm in where like everyone shares their checkout logs.
Yeah.
And it's been like popping off.
Right. Okay.
I know
Interesting.
it did on the SVD Yeezy restock last night or Yeezy drop last night. I know it hit a lot. So yeah, I something, and it's not too expensive at the moment, so something
Yeah.
potentially worth getting to invest in as well.
Yeah. Sounds good.
If you're looking for something like that.
I think it is. I think with EU, because you have so many different like smaller sites and stuff. Like you could just get your Ganesh, but you're looking at like $5-6K or pounds even at this point, which is pretty crazy. So if you did want to sort of spread out the risk a little bit, you could. It might be worth investing in like 3 sort of more low key bots which do still cook, like Shrimp, like Earthside, maybe even like Phasma or Fleek sort of fallen off a bit, but maybe sort of like those other smaller bots, and you can just have just as effective outcomes with them, which is worth considering for our EU users. So I mean the same site pretty much drops the Zyons, right? So
yeah, I mean it was very very similar.
Yeah.
Same bots did well as well. I'd say.
Yeah. It's a shame they're not doing any sort of Adidas splash releases anymore in the EU for Adidas.
Yeah,
for
I
Yeezys,
know.
but yeah,
we just get the raffle on the app now, which is kind of depressing.
We don't even get Yeezy supply anymore, so it's just it's really tough buying in the EU now. It's really tough. If you don't hit those Foot Locker EU pairs, you can really be struggling unless you just get quite lucky with the smaller sites, with the smaller bots. So and Off-White 4s, I don't think a single EU site dropped, did it?
I didn't see anything aside from obviously Off-White itself.
Yeah, of course. Off-White, Mbot did well, and they actually shipped this time, unlike with the what was the last thing that dropped there that didn't ship?
Fives?
No, before
Yeah,
that.
it was the 5s. Oh, okay.
It was before the 5s.
After that?
What's that?
Fives and dunks. Fives
The
and
dunks
dunks.
barely shipped at all.
Yeah, the dunks
dunks
barely
were
shipped.
literally
They canceled online.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I remember they cancelled loads of dunks, but I think people who hit with Cyber apparently got a few shipping for the dunks, and Mbot didn't. So that's why people were expecting the same this time, which is why Hassan said, like, look, they've loads of pairs of shipping and stuff, which is impressive. So yeah, Mbot did well, Cyber did well, but on Off-White. Balco did well. Yeah, Balco did well.
I think
did really well too.
300 checker.
What was that?
TKS.
TK. Oh, did it? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it did really well.
It's probably just a combination of the other 3 bots mentioned, to be honest.
Ooh.
I'm not trying to throw shade, but it's got to be said. It's got to be. No, fair
Was
play.
it more the same as the last drop though, where if you had the proxies, you probably had a lot better chance?
I think apparently Smart Proxy worked really well on Off-White this time. Apparently, was it
basic
the
clips.
Italy region?
I know people hit with basic clips. I think the EU proxies, just random EU pools were hitting
I heard Italy did quite well,
clips.
but I think
Portugal was the way.
Portugal was the way.
Yeah,
Right.
Portugal.
Again?
Yeah, Portugal.
Yeah.
Was it. My friend ran Whist just because obviously they're finishing this Friday. So he got like 5 gigs or something for £8.
Wow.
And he got 5 out of 6 pairs shipped.
that's
which is not
crazy.
bad.
What return on investment?
Yeah, I know, mental.
The guy, if anybody was up, they'll probably know what I'm talking
Wow,
about.
that mic quality is intense. Please continue. Sorry, don't let me disrupt you.
on like the first few minutes of the drop, some guy in Boca was just like checking out, like he checked out like 4 or 5. He said that guy used AWS proxies.
Really? What the
I
hell?
don't know.
What region?
I don't know. That's what he told me.
Wow. Apparently AWS Ireland proxies were working on Mesh like a year ago, which is kind of crazy because you could just gen the hell out of them. But it's probably clipped now, but just a cool little fact. Alright, cool. I mean, that's basically it for the EU, right? It's pretty tough nowadays. It's not really a huge amount to talk about because not many sites drop. But
you guys, what about the dunks? Like, you guys get Grateful Dead sites that drop, right? Because US is weird. We get skate shops and most of it is in store.
Yeah, most of ours was in, especially for the Grateful Dunks. I think majority of them were in store. The sites which do drop dunks, they're like really small, like EU mainland stores, and then there's some in like the UK, but they're all raffles, and these skate shops, the way that I think they're really obsessed about its like tight knit community sort of feel, which is fair enough. Like that's just part of the culture, I suppose. But I think a lot of them would like. I think 99% were raffles, right? I don't recall seeing any first come first serve on the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, raffles and backdoor is all I saw.
Pretty much, yeah. As is the case with most dunks, to be honest. But
realistically, small skate shops, they're not gonna when they can flip it for 800 quid.
Yeah,
they're gonna take
exactly,
it, aren't they?
exactly. I mean, it's a tough time now, so
Don't blame me.
I do understand. Like, I don't like bashing stores for backdoor. Like, you know, when it's like big stores that do it. Like, I'm just like, what the hell? Like, you don't really need to. But when it's
Foot Locker.
DSM goes
so
crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I know 2 people who just clear out all their in-store
crazy.
stock.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And they don't exactly need the money.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, when smaller stores do it, sort of just keep afloat. Like, fair enough. You know, the dunk hype has just returned, and it will probably go away in a bit as well. So it's good that they're making the most out of it.
Yeah. And they're giving it to people who are probably going to wear the pairs or skate them.
That's the thing, yeah, exactly. Although if you do skate any of these pairs, which are like 1k plus, please just get some help. But
You're too rich.
You're just way too rich. All right, cool. I think that's everything for EU, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much covered.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So should we move on to like Footsites stuff and PVs and all that fun?
Yeah.
All right, take it away, boys.
Alright, who wants to talk about just Footsites on Smoke Grays?
Okay, I will.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We can both talk about it. Atlas, you can go ahead.
Actually, I'd like to let you start because that's when Aiden was really just hammering everybody, right?
Yeah, because no one really knew what to do about it. It was kind of like in the air. It was really new, and people were just getting PVs left and right. I mean, now we know a little bit more about it and like trust scores and all that, but it was a pain for a lot of people.
I've never seen so many groups panic at the same time. Like, I've never, like, every single Discord ticket, every single channel from every single group I'm in was like, don't worry, we're going to figure this out. We're all in this together. I'm like, holy cow, man, the world is really ending because Footsites decided to just lay the smackdown on everybody.
And like,
it was also like a new. It's also like a new payment processing for them, right? They switched over.
Yeah.
They probably didn't really know how to work it, so they probably just cranked on some settings and gave it a go.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. Because I mean, it's a lot looser now. I've gotten multiple shipped to the same address and with a catch-all, and I've been fine. But on the Smoke Grays, I used the same thing, and pretty much all my orders got canceled, which is
also
really a bummer.
Wasn't that the first initial drop where all sites had Adyen on?
I believe so.
They still go crazy on PVs just on restocks now. So it could have been just the same like throughout this entire time. It's just that we were hitting restocks and just getting insta-canceled.
I think a lot of that, though, was, you know, like to touch on what Joe said, they didn't even know what they were doing. It seems like they turned the thing on and they left it cranked on 11 to the point where people manually checking out were still getting insta-canceled. And I think, you know, we kind of got lucky in a way. If there wasn't such a hype drop right when they started it, that so many people were going for, that so many people complained, we probably would have had it like that for a few weeks, and they would have never even known how bad it was cranked up until we had like a big drop, and then we would have been screwed.
Yeah, facts.
It's like even like Joe Public was screaming and complaining everywhere I saw that their stuff was getting canceled. There's nothing worse than something for 2 hours. You get lucky on that one shoe, you get a year, and then you get canceled.
Yeah, it's yeah, and like it's not like anybody at Foot Locker is buying shoes off their own site, so it's like they're not gonna find out. Like people complain, and luckily Smoke Grays were, you know, the public wanted them, the hood wanted them, but the hood could not. and then they complained. So I'm lucky for that. But
yeah, and then Zyons was a little bit easier. Like, Aiden wasn't so bad. How do you pronounce it? Adyen.
The Y is after the D, dog.
I don't know.
Wow.
All right, but it was definitely a lot looser. Whatever they did, definitely loosened it up. But still a lot of cancels. But Footsites just love to just keep on going and going. They eat so much proxy data.
Yeah, what bots did well for Smoke Gray? I don't remember that well. It was too long.
I mean, it's the usual worked. Ganesh worked really well. Kodai did the best, I'm pretty sure. Balco, I'm not sure about.
It did.
Taco did alright, and so did Wrath. They had a lot of checkouts.
Yeah, I think PD did well. Yeah, just like the usual. Cyber did well, but on the Zyons, Cyber had an issue with cookies, right? Or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not.
So, like, Cloudflare
that.
server detected a DDoS attack because so many requests or something like that, and they just shut down. So they shut down any requests to the servers, so no users were able to get cookies. Yeah.
Cloudflare is so stupid.
Yeah, but
so it's pretty simple. All right, well, finish line. That was terrible. Yeah, the drop. I remember that one. The drop lasted for a good 45 minutes to an hour, and like there were practically no checkouts. I mean, Cyber was hitting a decent amount every now and then. I don't think Kodai was working at all.
Yeah, Kodai flopped on finish line.
Ganesh probably took a few, and then everybody was just chilling. They had permaqueue up, and then they just tweeted out of stock. So nobody knows where the pairs went. Nobody thinks it actually went out of stock. But
yeah, and they haven't restocked since, which is so crazy.
Overall, trash drop. Site cannot handle all these bots going on it. Proxy data was chewed because DCs don't work. Honestly, finish line is like it's a dying site. It's barely worth it at this point. The site is always permaqueued for just like forever. So it's just not even worth it to run at some points because your resi data is just going to get chomped. So honestly, if anybody, for any of these drops in the future, I'd probably lay back on finish line a bit. It's not as good of a site as it used to be. Just too many bots on it, crashing the site. Site can't handle any of it.
It's like a mini Footlocker EU.
Can you not check out with one card anymore? Like 100 checkouts with one card?
Nah, you can. What?
No, well, you can, but they went hard on that with the Zyons. You were able to check out multiples on the same email, like number, like anything. You can get multiples, but now you can't anymore. You have to change up like your email, your phone number, stuff like that.
Yeah, you gotta kind of jig it now. Like used to be able to one profile, but they've been canceling since Zyons.
Yeah, I think the last time it worked was on either Toros or Grapes, whatever.
Are we sure that the cancels are just multiple profile, or is it just like finish line?
Yeah, dog, it's multiple. Like I pretty much got insta canceled right after my first pair on
what time though?
Here, I'll look it up real quick. Well, you talk about something else.
I was looking that up. Yeah, next site, but Shopify, I guess. There's not. Those are the 3 main platforms that drop everything.
Shopify was good for the grays, the 700, and even
I think
the off whites, right?
Yeah, was it? God, when was the first? Everything's blurring together at this point. When was the first undefeated drop where they forced you to solve a login captcha?
That was for Zyons.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, I'm a week ahead then. Yeah. So in that case, I think Shopify was pretty normal. Did Kith change ATC on that? The ATC form at all? I don't think they did.
No, they did it on their Monday program drop.
Was that 2 days after Smokes?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, that was the first time we did that. So yeah, Shopify, pretty simple, just normal. What we're used to seeing, really. So that's fine. So yeah, pretty simple job for US overall. Finish line was trash. Both sites were all right. They had pretty low stock compared to previous drops and compared to Zyons. Shopify is just Shopify. It's how it always is. And then if we want to talk about Shoe Palace, it's just the site dying. So
Oh yeah, that's a match
Shoe
right
Palace,
there.
Dark IO, and Palace Bot.
Dark IO go on Shoe Palace.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Launcher's broke. Phantom Shoe Palace is discontinued. So like these private
Launcher
bots
worked
can
for the
go.
light smoke. And
Oh,
it
it
worked
did.
for for the light smoke, and I think right for the Zyons, and right before it kind of died.
Okay, yeah. And then
Got some big
now,
update coming, so let's see how that goes.
alright, that's nice. But now, not so much. Fan dead in the water. That means it's gonna be a lot harder for. I think the site's gonna get better, honestly, because Phantom users would run 10k tasks on the site and kill it for like hours on end. So I think that the site's gonna get a lot better, just less load. It's gonna go back to how it was before, probably before Phantom added it. It's still
proxies too, though, man. Like no
Yeah.
proxies work. So
yeah, they go crazy on proxies now.
they banned my home IP, and I wasn't even doing anything on it.
Same.
And like I'm pretty sure I thought about just looking at shoes on Shoe Palace, and they banned my IP.
Yeah, perma. Yeah, for those who don't know, you can check. If you're 501 when there's no drop, or just 501 in general, you're most likely banned, whether it be perma banned or 10 banned.
Like half
Yeah.
the chatter in the launcher general was, what proxies
Yeah.
can we use that work?
I think if any of you guys need Shoe Palace proxies, Space Eclipse is my go-to. That's probably one of my favorites. Yeah, that's the one that you're gonna be able to get right now. That should work. Their Ace Lake pools are the ones that you want. Alright.
Yeah, I've heard good stuff about that. And then also, what's it called? SMT, their pools work well. I've heard.
It's just Oxylabs. I think Oxylabs got clipped a bit ago.
Yeah, it did. Absolutely did.
Yeah, tough. So it's gonna be
Maybe it doesn't.
Oxys now.
Yeah.
That's similar
all-
for Finish Line though, too, right? Because I saw a lot of people complain. I don't bot Finish Line, but I saw a lot of people complaining that proxies weren't working as well.
I think Smart still works. Smart's
Yeah,
been-
Smart still works. Oxy was like half and half. Like it would just get either insta clipped, or you would have it for like 5-10 minutes, and then they would clip it. And then also what's it called? Space. I use Space for Finish Line, and they work really, really well.
Yeah, Space Eclipse is good. I think that's yeah. That's all for the US sites then on that drop.
Yeah.
Should we move back to EU for Zion now?
I think we already covered it just a little bit. I mean, it was pretty much the same as Smokes. The same site's got the same amount of pairs, same bots cooked.
All right.
But I think we should move on to US off-white fours, because there's a lot of talk about that.
Yeah, just skip over. Yeah, because Zion mostly same as Smoke Gray is just a lot more stock. Oh well, we could talk about Yeezy Supply actually. Although
Splash Force fucking 8.
yeah,
Splash
Force
Force did do well.
For those who
I
don't
won
know,
with that bypass.
yeah, for those who don't know, Splash Force added Polaris Special Mode, but instead of them limiting you to 50 tasks, you can run as many as you want. So a bunch of friends of mine were just running 1,000 tasks and getting through instantly and just like destroying the site. So many players. So any Yeezy drops are coming.
I mean, so quick question: was it more how Polaris does it, or was it the fact that you could run 6,000 tasks without V3?
I think it's I don't own Splash Force. I was just talking to a bunch of people running it, but I think
No, but I believe it was like you could run as many tasks as you want and still
That's why.
it's
still cook.
yeah it's
I
it's
think
no
Polaris
no-
just did it as like a precaution to like not get clipped.
yeah
Like that's
It's
what
probably
I'm
gonna
thinking.
get clipped very soon.
and then
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll tell
I
you guys right now, though,
don't-
like Raft's module is really good.
Oh yeah, Raft did really
Raft,
well.
I checked out 40 pairs on Raft with probably like 300 tasks, and I cranked it up and then just ran for my friend. And you think like 400 versus 6,000 tasks? I'll go with Wrath. I mean, I'll say it's the better module. If you ran 6,000 tasks on Wrath, then I would have had freaking 700 pairs of shoes.
I was actually surprised when I was running 6,000 tasks on Splash Force. I was really surprised that it could handle that because Phantom could even handle that.
Yeah, well, you know why? Because you take out like the heavy engine.
The solvers.
Splash Force is those solvers, man.
Yeah,
Those
it's
solvers
all the solvers. They're so intensive on the RAM.
Well,
So-
it's just their memory. They memory leak so hard. It's honestly probably not even that hard of a fix, if I had to guess, to fix memory.
I'm not a dev, so I'm not even gonna go there and say what's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me neither.
Maybe don't say.
I mean,
maybe we can edit that out.
like, it's just like Splash Force is coded in C, right? Or C hash, some form of C.
I'm not sure.
Nonsense. Don't just cut the shit out.
Fitzy, leave him alone,
It
man.
makes me
Hey, bro,
angry.
like don't do that.
It makes me angry, man.
Don't do that. Make your look. I'll speak for Alan. He would say, "Go make your own fucking bot, then." If it's so
I'm not about to make a Yeezy supply bot, but maybe fix some memory leaks. Maybe I could do that.
okay, maybe. Put in your application.
Mediocre C developer.
Okay, so we've covered finish line now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
we
that's
covered finish line, we covered
all
Zyons, we covered Smoke Rays.
Sweet.
That's all US sites.
Nice. All right. What bot has done the best? So there've been a few different. We've covered the EU ones. We could probably summarize. So Ganesh obviously still killing it. Calic's been doing good. Aaron mentioned Earthside, which has been doing decent as well. He said, I think cooked SVD. You said, right, Aaron?
Yeah, I saw them cook SVD last night actually.
Cool. Perfect. And then Shrimp as well. It's looking quite good.
Yeah, small low T one as well. I've seen Zonos Labs doing okay.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
Quite a few checkouts. Again, like small EU sites.
Yeah.
But if someone's not got loads of capital, something that's definitely worth looking into and seems to be doing well.
Yeah, definitely a good option for someone getting into the scene. And then US boys.
Just the same as always.
Ganesh on
Cyber.
Footsites, Balco, Cyber.
Yeah.
The usual. PD has done really, really well on Shopify, I've heard. Their new module. Soul has been
really?
doing... I mean, like... But for its new module, it's decent. I've heard a little bit about it.
When does it release the module?
Yeah, they released it, in June, I think?
Okay.
It's
late
been
June.
out for a bit. It's been hitting a few pairs every now and then.
Mm.
It's
Is that not
nothing.
like old PD though? Like remember old PD when it was
Yeah.
like used to
Like-
be like a
like-
little bit.
How many
It
users
works.
do they have though?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
User base
that's
they have,
true.
very
I'd
true.
never thought about that.
Mm.
'Cause that's like when you guys always make fun of me when I'm like and be cooked.
Yeah.
But it could,
million.
you know,
Yes.
like a
Bot-
Wrath
bot.
is like topped at 1,000 users. Man, that bot, holy cow! Shout out to Dave. He's not here today, but he told me to buy it a while back, and I'm so happy I got it. It's tripled in price, so I'm happy about that too. But
That's a cook.
Wrath boy through and through. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
This is out of order. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that Nebula actually did pretty well on Yeezy Supply, as opposed to not doing it didn't used to do that well on Yeezy Supply, and on Zion it hit a pretty good amount. So
Nice.
please don't feel left out.
it's been killing
Yeah.
restocks too, right?
It's so good on Shopify non-BP restocks.
Whoever picked that up in the group buy, by the way, like I want to see some success because that's all I hear is that it's just killing restocks.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It
Thank you,
does.
Sage.
And then what else? Soul. Soul has been doing really, really well on Hibbit, YS, Adidas,
Finish line.
pretty much all around. Yeah, Finish Line definitely. I
It's
think
so-
it did one of the
so-
best on Zyons.
Like
Or
if you have money and you need a bot that just does everything, please buy Soul. It's 2K, I think, right now.
Yeah,
The
it's up to
It's
2K.
2K.
And it
Off
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
$400. What
so-
the hell?
supports Finish Line, does well on Shopify, it just added Footsites. I think didn't it hit a few pairs on Off-White too, even though Off-White doesn't matter.
No, it didn't. I don't think so.
Okay. But it's all around, it's just so good. I don't think you're gonna get a better bot for your money right now than Solei.io. And I see it going up more. The devs are doing super well right now.
Yeah, I fully back the devs so much. Like with adding snipes as well, and it's just completely destroyed it straight away. Like they have done really well. I'd still have my copy, but it got scammed. So
Rip.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get purchasable to get you your copy back.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you've got a Ganesh copy that might end up in the same situation, Aaron.
Oh yeah.
I apologise in advance. Need to get our 3.0 profit.
I knew it was an L as soon as
How's TAS on Soul, by the way? I could have sworn someone was saying that it's pretty intense on TAS.
I ran like 500 finish line tasks and like 300 more user supply tasks around the same time, and like it was doing alright. It was doing fine.
Imagine if you could run your phone like you run Soul.
Yeah, but Soul, I think Soul does it is pretty intensive, but as long as you have like good enough RAM, you should be good to go.
Is it basically like needed to run on a server then? With like 16 GB or something minimum.
I run 16 GB on my local, and I'm fine.
Okay, that's good.
If you're not running finish line YS on a server, you're kind of a goofball. Unless you've already got 3 bots on your server.
It's a bit rude, man. You can't just call people goofballs like that, man.
Yeah, no, I got it.
You savage.
Nah, not for user supply. Maybe finish line, not user supply. If you have good internet, you can run the crap out of user supply.
Yeah,
unless it's Phantom, and then Phantom will crash your internet.
In terms of like task counts and stuff, like what generally what task counts would you use for finish line, user supply, and Footsites respectively?
Finish line, I go crazy on finish line. I do like 500 plus tasks. I load up on Resi data, shout out oil proxy, and then easy supply, same thing pretty much, just 300 to 500 tasks on most bots. On Splash, you can do like 1,000. Phantom, you can do a few thousand.
Nice. So are these all request based then? I'm guessing if you're doing that many tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember browser. I mean, I'm so out of the loop with like e-supply and stuff. I obviously don't run them being from the UK, but I remember they used to have like the browser system and stuff. Is that all clipped now?
Yeah, it's full ACO now. I mean, you can choose like if you want it to be browser or whatnot, but it's full ACO does really well as well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference to use browser mode at this point. They're past that.
Yeah.
No, nobody uses browser.
Okay.
Yeah, but it didn't do so well on Zyons. They had like a V3 issue within the bot, and it just kind of, if you didn't have like 0.9s.
Wait, who was this?
You're kind of much screwed. Soul.
Oh, I see.
I'm not really sure what happened there. They made the adjustment that they had to already, but it wasn't doing as well as like Wrath was doing and Splash Force.
Yeah, it hit a few pairs for me, but not as much as other bots.
Yeah. Do you guys want to go on to Off-White 4s on US, or at least for like the Off-White drop?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we already went over the Off-White drop. I mean, like Kith and stuff, and the Balco.
Oh yeah, we should definitely.
Are we gonna talk about that or no?
Yeah, we can do. We can.
Okay.
Yeah, we can discuss it to the point where we can discuss how it works, because obviously you can't talk about that. But so yeah, I mean, it was basically a bypass. It's something Balco has been working on and found it and put it into public copies. So yeah, I mean, it worked great. He was saving it for a good drop, and obviously this is probably the best drop you can stick it on. It's probably one of the best drops in the summer. So yeah, and it worked really well. Balco took a huge proportion of the stock on Shopify, and yeah, I mean,
like 90-something% of Kith.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
I think it took like 99 or something, 98.
Kith was either, I think it was 275 or 325 pairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 270, I believe. So
Very significant amount.
nice and good.
Yep, indeed.
And was the checkpoint thing available on both,
Yes.
like safe and ultra safe,
Oh,
or is it just ultra safe?
I don't know. From looking at
No, it's just safe.
Yeah, it was safe.
Oh.
Yeah, the bypass was on all
Gotcha.
modes.
Oh, gotcha.
It was.
Yeah.
yeah,
That makes sense because I was messing with some tasks on regular and they were going right through, and I was like, why am I not getting checkpoints?
Yeah.
I
That'll be why.
it's so. We were discussing earlier. It's one of those things where I understand that he wasn't gonna go out and say, "Hey, there's a bypass, run it," because then it could have been clipped even before anyone got to run it. But just maybe a bit of like, "Hey, you might want to run an extra 20 tasks here."
Yeah.
Just something somewhat broad. I mean, obviously, some people knew because you could see they had like 10 plus checkouts, but not everyone knew.
So I think the thing that what I heard from him is that he was saying that people's setups wouldn't have really changed because everybody's just running 2 to 3 tasks local on Kit. So like you're kind of capped. The only people who could have really capitalized are people with like unthrottled DCs, which is a super low percent of the entire user base. That's that was, I think that was his logic behind not telling people as well.
I think the amount of stock that the bot took as a whole probably wouldn't have changed if people ran more tasks, but it would have given more people. I don't know. I guess it could have given more people more opportunities to hit like an even distribution of pairs rather than.
Yeah, it would have been spread out more evenly, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens in the future. I mean, we haven't had a major drop since then. It was only a few days ago. We haven't had a major drop since then to sort of see if it's still working or not. So it might be, but unlikely. JM Wind pretty much said it was clipped now. So
yeah, we had the Kith Monday A6. It didn't work.
Right. I see. Okay.
And then,
Let's talk about that drop a little bit.
I probably should go back talk about DSML and all that, and just quickly, I guess. Was the Balco bypass on for DSML? I don't think it was, right?
It wasn't, but I think Wick was testing it.
What happened with
Wick
DSML?
Wick hit like 3.
Nah, I don't think he was testing it because what happened with DSML is that they dropped password page, and if you had low enough delay, they didn't put checkpoint up right away, so your task just went straight into queue. And of course, DSML doesn't have checkout captcha, so you literally did nothing.
Yeah, that's I recommend everybody run 777 delay on DSML now. You don't get throttled.
They what's it called? They do DSML not generally just load checkpoint late anyway. Like they've been doing that for a while now.
I don't think they usually load it late.
That was just a weird drop because they even had like password page down with checkpoint up or something.
Right.
They finally threw.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so tough because it's pretty much different every single time.
Yeah, it's so hard to predict. There's so many different type of Shopify sites and stuff.
That's why I recommend, if you guys read the release strats, I always recommend running a separate group of regular tasks. So then if you see checkpoint pop up, you just delete those really quickly, and then you just solve the checkpoint captchas only for your extra safe tasks. That helps with your basis. If they don't put a checkpoint and let your regular task on, they'll check out normal. They put it, you delete the regular tasks, solve the checkpoint, you're still good.
Cool. Fitzy, your mic keeps like spazzing out. I don't know if you can fix that.
I think it's a combination.
It's really bad.
In the mic, probably.
I see. Okay, cool. Alright, so we've done that. Does someone want to mention anything else before we go on to the new essentials feature?
I would just say botting right now is probably at its hardest point. Like, there's so many anti-bot features, and we now even have questions with Shopify, which is, no one would have thought that. So it's just like so weird how it used to be just like regular fast mode, and you would get like 2 or 3 on Kith. Now you get 1 if you're lucky enough. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's a tough process. I think it just highlights, how important it is to keep adapting and to keep learning. Because if you even if you like miss one drop and you don't really catch up on what happened, like that can really affect how you perform the next drop. So always read up on our guides and stuff, because we do update.
I agree with that. And, a lot of the tickets we get is like, what am I doing wrong, or why didn't I hit? Well, a couple of things. Like, one, you're not going to hit every single drop. It's almost impossible unless you're that tuned in and you have that many resources. But 2, I think you just made a great point. You're probably better off practicing even on the drops that you're not running for. And what I mean by that is run like a test profile on Kith and get all the way to decline. And just run, even for their Monday program or whatever else, just do it and get in the habit of setting up, running, and see what works and what doesn't work. Because it's going to keep changing. Like, he obviously has a hard-on for bots right now, so they're going to go at him for a little bit.
Yeah, definitely Monday program is really good to run on if you're testing out either like a new setup or something like that. Because they pretty much always have proxy protection on for their Monday program, as well as checkpoint bot protection. Pretty much anything that they throw at you will be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kith Monday definitely should. That should be like a little testing ground for everyone. Like, if you've got a drop happening on the Saturday and then you want to test some proxies or whatever, Monday's perfect time to do it. So definitely make the most of it. Cool. So we just added the bot checkout channels at the bottom. I'll scroll down so people can see them. So we've just put them. Where do I even put it now? I can't even find it. We put it under. So I brought the monitors down under low-key cooks, sort of towards the bottom, and then I put bot checkouts underneath. So what you can get from this, so I'll just expand it. Say click cyber checkouts, and it just shows you all the checkouts which are coming out in their feed. So the idea behind this is that if you have like monitors for like Footsites and Supreme and stuff, like sometimes they can miss stock, and they can also sometimes pick up like fake stock and stuff. So it's quite good to have. It's quite good to have like a checkout feed that you can sort of see, and then if you see people running tasks, then you can sort of just run the same tasks basically. So yeah, I hope you find this useful. We've had some good feedback on it so far, and hopefully we don't get cancelled by every bot company in the world. So yeah, that's good.
Wow.
I can't even hear what you said, so I'll just assume you're complimenting me. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today, right, guys?
You got two Jordan drops next week, so that should be good.
Yeah,
more of the same.
busy one,
honestly.
Then we've got Supreme starting again next month, which should be good as well. So we'll have a lookbook, I think, like mid-August, and then first release. Well, they'll be in-store, then it'll be first release the week after that. So yeah, got quite a bit happening in August, so stay tuned for more stuff, and make sure you keep reading up in the guides, and any issues, let us know. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found this useful.